5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Weekend protests at Washington University, leading to nearly 100 people arrested, including more than 24 students and even at least 4 faculty members. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Brent Solomon.
And I'm Kay Quinn. Now, Washington University police are recommending those arrested face a range of charges, including trespassing, resisting arrest, and assault. The Washington University Chancellor's office released a statement earlier today saying, despite what protesters have claimed, the demonstrations Saturday were not peaceful. They say those involved were not students, and those who were enrolled in the college were violating campus policies by trying to set up an encampment. Students identified as being part of that will face the university's code of conduct process. The Chancellor's office also said the chants people were using during the demonstration were anti-Semitic. Some Jewish community members agreed.
It stems from systemic anti-Semitism that people really just don't even understand that they're being anti-Semitic. And I think it's also important to remind both sides of this conflict that we need to listen to each other, because at the end of the day, we both just want, we're both fighting for human rights.
The Washington University Police Department is the only agency right now asking that those who are arrested be charged. While members of the St. Louis County and Clayton Police Departments handled the arrests, neither are recommending charges. The St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office says as of now, no applications for charges have been filed in the 21st Circuit. 5 on Your Side's Mark Maxwell will have much more on this story on 5 on Your Side at 5 and 6.
Well, WashU is just one of many colleges all around the country dealing with the fallout of pro-Palestinian demonstrations and arrests on campus. Right now, the fate of many graduating students and the careers of faculty members are at stake as these protests escalate. Laura Aguirre reports.
Chaos erupting at the University of Texas in Austin as police moved in Monday afternoon to make arrests and forcibly dismantle a protest encampment. The threat of a similar scene is unfolding at Columbia University, where students are encircling an encampment there, standing firm against an afternoon deadline to remove the tents or face disciplinary action, including suspension. In a statement earlier, the school's president said Columbia was exploring alternative options to, quote, end this crisis, without revealing what those options were.
We feel the need to continue to protest in this camp.
What we need is for universities to reassert control over their campuses.
21 House Democrats sent a letter to Columbia's Board of Trustees Monday demanding an end to the encampments or that they step down.
The real problem here is that the administration called the Atlanta police.
Hundreds of faculty members at Atlanta's Emory University are holding a no-confidence vote Monday, urging that school's president to resign over his handling of the student demonstrations. The university crackdown at Emory, similar to other events in recent days at other schools like Virginia Tech, George Washington University, UCLA, and USC, where graduation has already been canceled, administrators say, over safety concerns, a move that could be repeated at other schools as commencement dates and encampment standoffs collide. I'm Laura Aguirre for 5 on Your Side.
I lost everything. I've lost my life without being killed.
A man who survived a deadly shooting while on a first date says the killer should spend the rest of his life behind bars. Robert Tarr was found guilty of first-degree murder for killing his ex-girlfriend Leslie Reeves. Reeves and Christopher Smith were on their first date when her ex-boyfriend tracked them down.
Well, Smith survived and spoke today with our Justina Cornell. She joins us in studio now with his reaction to that conviction. Justina.
Well, we've been following Chris Smith and his recovery for almost 3 years. I was even there the week he took his first steps. He was able to walk again after being told he wouldn't be able to. Smith was shot in the head right before Thanksgiving in 2021 at his home in Farmersville. Jacksonville. He was on a first date with Leslie Reeves when this all happened. Robert Tarr from Collinsville is convicted of hunting them down and breaking in. Reeves died that night. Smith said he doesn't recall much of that night, and since then, he's had 3 strokes. He's learned to rebuild his life and walk again. Smith said he's thankful Tarr was found guilty and said the evidence was overwhelming. Now he's looking ahead.
My left arm still doesn't really work, but I mean, it's starting to come back a little bit. You know, with my leg, I mean, I've got the bioness, but I mean, I work out 5 days a week and I just keep going. Don't ever give up on anything in life. Never give up.
Smith is releasing a book this fall, and he's also performing with his band once again. The sentencing for Robert Tarr is July 1st, and Smith is expected to make a victim impact statement. Tarr could face a minimum of 76 years behind bars.
All right, thank you, Justina. A second week of testimony began today in the trial of Thomas Kinworthy, the man accused of murdering St. Louis police officer Tamaris Bohannon in 2020. Prosecutors continued grilling a star witness for the defense.
I'm struggling to see the connection with suicide by cop because he didn't call the police. He didn't set something up. He was running around paranoid, not knowing where he was, having delusions and hearing things. So that's a very organized behavior to set up a situation where you're going to have suicide by cop. I just don't see that here.
Kinworthy is also accused of forcing a couple out of their Tower Grove South home and wounding a second officer that day. The trial is set to last through the end of this week.
Well, overnight storms may be to blame for a fire in a St. Charles clock tower. This happened around 2 in the morning at the Three Flags Center. That's near the Mirror Casino. There's moderate damage to the clock tower, but it didn't spread past that. The exact cause now under investigation, but crews today said they suspect the structure was struck by lightning.
Those storms and the rain all gone now. We'll see much warmer temperatures this week.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the weather first forecast.
You know, it's nice to see the sun coming back, and we needed some rainfall, but boy, a lot of us saw more than what we really actually needed over the last couple of days. I think we can say the drought's pretty much over. Scenes like this were pretty common after last night and early this morning. Greg shared this picture with us from Mount Olive, Illinois, about 2 inches in his rain gauge, and there were pockets 1 to 2 inches widespread across most of the metro St. Louis area and really all around the area. We had some areas with even a little more than that, and over the last 4 days, we've seen some spots end up with more than 3 or 4 inches of rainfall. You can see right now most of what's left of this system is well off to our south and southeast, and that rain is pushing away. As we've seen some sunshine return to St. Louis, we've managed to get back into the low and mid 70s. It's a pretty comfortable evening, and it looks like we'll continue to see that clearing line advance farther east through the evening hours. Any showers southeast of St. Louis coming to an end. Now, with the residual moisture around and a clearing sky and light wind overnight, some areas of fog certainly possible. And then bright and beautiful weather for Tuesday. Tomorrow could be the pick day of the week. We'll show you why in a minute.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Scott. Gus's Pretzels cleaning up after a car crashed into the building. It happened Saturday night at the Popular business on Arsenal in South St. Louis. The driver ran from the scene. Police later found her at her home in the neighborhood. Owner Gus Kebby says a car hit a portion of the building that was built back in the 1800s. A masonry team says the building appears to be stable, but now they're waiting for building inspectors to let them know if they can open tomorrow. Gus's is always closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Well, teachers at a local charter school on the picket line, and now we're hearing from school leaders.
Some students in Hazelwood started the week virtually, what kept Hazelwood Central from holding in-person classes.